Hello there, I'm Adrian, and in a previous lesson I've looked at 5 of my favourite major type jazz licks. In this lesson I want to continue in a similar fashion, but I'm going to be looking at some minor licks. These are all licks which are designed to give you some vocabulary and some idiomatic jazz phrases to play over minor type chords. So they will work over minor 7th chords and over any chords from the minor family really, so minor 9th chords, minor 11th chords and so on. They will work whether that minor chord is the one chord in a minor key or whether that chord is functioning as a 2 chord in a 2-5-1 progression, for instance. But I'm not going to dwell too much on the theory side of things today. I just want to give you some cool licks to play. So let's get started. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to play all of these licks over a D minor 7th chord, and I'm also going to just restrict myself to one area of the neck. Obviously, once you've got these licks under your fingers, you can play them in different keys as well, and you can experiment with finding some other places on the neck where they will work. Now, what I like to do when I'm improvising over minor 7th chords, over any chords really, is I like to associate licks with particular chord shapes or with scale shapes. And in the case of these licks, I'm thinking of them as living around this D minor 7 chord voicing. It's just a fairly standard D minor 7. I'm playing the D root note at the 5th fret on the 5th string. And I've got a C note on the 3rd string, an F on the 2nd string, and an A on the 1st string. And more often than not, when I'm thinking about minor chords, I'm thinking about the Dorian mode. If you don't know what the Dorian mode is, it's just a type of minor scale which has got a natural 6th degree, and it creates a very nice kind of jazz flavour over minor chords. And I can see that scale as living around that chord shape. It would go like this. So I'm seeing all of these licks as being derived from that scale. I'm not exclusively using notes from that scale. There are a few other little chromatic notes and passing tones thrown in just to make things a bit more jazzy. So let's look at the first lick. I'm going to put the tab and the notation to all of these licks up on my website, so you can check them out there if I go through these a little bit too quickly for you in this lesson. But lick number 1 starts off nice and simple. It goes like this. Very simple but effective little phrase. We're starting off just going straight up a D minor 7 arpeggio, starting with the D note at the 7th fret on the 3rd string, then the 6th fret on the 2nd string, 5th fret on the 1st string, and then with my little finger I'm playing the 8th fret on the 1st string. Then I'm coming back to the 5th fret on the 1st string, the 6th fret and the 7th fret. So we've got a little chromatic walk up to that B note there, which is actually the 6th degree of the D Dorian mode. So it's definitely got that very strong Dorian flavour, this particular lick. So the entire lick, once again, very slowly. You could play this with a swing feel, you could play it with a straight feel as well. So that's the first lick. Lick number 2 goes like this. And this one starts off with a B minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, which is one of the arpeggios found within the D Dorian mode, and that's very effective when used against a D minor 7th chord. Starting with that B note at the 4th fret on the 3rd string, then I'm playing the 7th fret on the 3rd string, 6th fret on the 2nd string, 5th fret on the 1st string. Then I'm playing the 5th to 6th frets on the 2nd string, followed by the 5th to 8th frets on the 1st string. So once again, the entire lick slowly. That's how it sounds against that D minor 7th chord there. Lick number 3 goes like this. This is a favourite of mine actually. Once again, a very common bebop type of phrase, this one. We're starting off with the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then we're going to the 6th fret and then back to the 5th fret. I like to actually pull off from the 6th fret to the 5th fret just to give it a bit of extra swing. Then I'm playing the 7th fret to the 6th fret on the 3rd string, then the 7th fret on the 4th string. Then I'm playing the 5th fret on the 3rd string, back to the 7th fret on the 4th string, and finally the 4th fret on the 3rd string, so that the second half of the lick is this. And again, I think I'm usually pull off from the 7th fret to the 6th fret there. Again, we've got that C sharp note in there, which is a very nice sort of addition to the Dorian scale. It sort of works as giving a bit of a kind of tension note against that minor 7th chord, which is frequently used by a lot of jazz players. So let me just play that entire lick slowly for you. One more time. And that's lick number 3. Lick number 4 goes like this. And this one again, it's starting off with a kind of superimposed arpeggio shape. We've got a kind of F major 7 arpeggio, which again is found within the D Dorian mode. Starting off with the 7th fret to the 8th fret on the 5th string, then playing the 7th fret on the 4th string, and then the 5th fret on the 3rd string, and the 5th fret on the 2nd string. And you can just hammer on there if you like from the 7th to the 8th frets on the 5th string. Then I'm playing the 8th fret on the 2nd string. And I'm just chromatically running down that string, so to the 7th fret, to the 6th fret, and landing up on the 5th fret there. The entire lick slowly goes like this. And finally, lick number 5 goes like this. A little bit more complex, this particular lick. We're starting off by playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Then I'm hammering on from the 6th to 7th frets on the 3rd string, and playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string again, and the 6th fret on the same string. Then I'm playing the 7th fret on the 4th string, the 6th fret on the same string, and back to the 7th fret again. And I think I'm hammering on there from the 6th to the 7th frets as well. But so far we have this. Then I'm going to play the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then I'm going to play the 7th fret on the 3rd string, 7th fret on the 4th string, and the 8th fret on the 5th string. This is the most tricky part of the lick, I think. It's a little D minor arpeggio, and lends itself quite well to a sweep picking approach in the right hand. So I'm playing those 3 notes with consecutive upstrokes of the pick. Technically quite difficult, might take a little bit of getting used to if you've never used that technique before. Then I'm playing the 7th fret on the 5th string and I'm finishing up with the 5th fret on the 5th string. So the entire lick slowly. And there you have it, 5 very useful jazz licks, which should give you plenty of vocabulary to use next time you're improvising over minor type chords. Once you've got them under your fingers, there are a few other things you can try. Obviously, try putting them into different keys. Try finding different places on the neck where they will work. You could try changing the rhythms a little bit, making the rhythms a bit more interesting. And most importantly, you could try using these ideas as a spur to come up with other ideas in a similar vein, some original licks of your own. So hope you have a lot of fun playing these licks, and I hope to see you again for another lesson very soon. Bye bye.